put us in this position. I also want to thank Wrigley, everybody that made this day happen. This is obviously a very special moment. I've been here many times over my life and never in this type of format, so I thought our guys were really excited. We got off the bus yesterday. You could see their excitement and the eagerness to get to this game. They really, I thought all week, we actually have fall break going on our campus, so our guys don't have classes, so I was a little not concerned, but I just kind of harped on them all week about staying in your routine, living your method, doing what we did. And I thought we actually practiced really good Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We want to put ourselves in a good position on this day to get to 9 wins and see where it can go. Just a fun day overall. I don't know what the future holds. I just know that I'm excited about this football team. I think we're a team that can play with anybody in the country. I love the fact that, we got, 3 losses on the year. We Penn State takes today and wins their opportunity. We're probably lost to Oregon and Penn State, the 2 teams that will play in the Big Ten championship game. And we lost to a Minnesota team on really a one-play possession game there at the end. The sack fumble obviously still grains in my head, but just a couple things go our way, and I think we're easily in the top 15, maybe in the top 10. So I'm excited to see exactly where we can go and what we can do. A couple guys injured today. Brought Caleb Patterson with us. He just didn't get cleared, so I thought Jaheim Clark really popped up today and did some really good things. Fun to see Malachi Hood pop in, and obviously Dylan Rosiak's been out, but I thought James Cruz, Malachi, Ryan Mead, just a really a good group of kids that have stepped up in a big way, and then JoJo Hayden today especially, stepping in. Seth Coleman has put a lot on Gabe and Alec Bryant, but it was fun to see JoJo come in there and make some plays happen. So with that, open up for questions.
Obviously, career game for Aiden Lofgren.
Yeah.
Some thoughts on that?
Yeah. Aiden, he's just one of those guys. I'll go back to even last spring. He really had a really good spring. You could see him getting just a better poise and understanding of what we asked him to do. And then, unfortunately, in that opener on that big run down the right boundary, tweaked his, I believe it was his hamstring, and it kind of took about 3 or 4 weeks. And then again in the middle of the season. So I remember 3 weeks ago, really when we came out of our second bye, I'm like, man, Aiden looks good, and he's been feeling it. That play last week when he did that nice bounce play, I thought today would be a day that could happen. And then, today some of those turned into big home run hits, which kind of been waiting on all year.
Bret, lots of firsts. 9 wins this season, first since 07, 6 wins in the Big Ten, first since 07. What made this group that group to elevate, and what does that mean for your program?
I felt coming into the year, obviously I don't make predictions, but I felt really good about this group. I liked the way we were kind of gelling in fall camp. I thought our returning players, you could see the growth of Luke Altmyer. I thought we were going to be better up front offensively. I thought the addition of Zakari and the growth of Pat, now you have 2 perimeter players that really make a difference. I'm telling you, Colin Dixon, if I could sign five Colin Dixons a year, I'd do it. He's just an incredibly intelligent, very, very disciplined, very talented football player. Hank Beatty just continues to show up. And then on the defense side of the ball, I knew I was going to see growth out of Aaron from year 1 to year 2, and I couldn't be happier with our defensive staff. I thought those guys really have molded and adjusted to what our guys' limitations are and maximize our strengths. And then I got to tell you, between Robbie Disher and Chris Hurd in the special teams world, I thought they've just come in and week out. I thought we've gained an advantage in the special teams battle pretty much in every game, and that's really fun to watch. So I thought we'd have a chance to win 9. It's been a long time since Illinois has won 9, like you said, and hopefully this is more of the norm than not. I remember last year walking off that field in this game, it was like doomsday for a lot of people, and I just kind of sat there and smiled because I know what we were capable of doing, and that's it's been good. I think our core returning players have been good, but we really hit gold on some of the portal guys, right? Some of those guys really, see like Dennis Briggs. T-Rod Edwards has been here forever. To see him today, I was able to give him a captainship, and a guy that came in and for 2 years just kind of put in, did his work, and this year has really manifested into something special. It's been awesome.
What were your thoughts on defense in the first half? They held the ball for 40 minutes and
Yeah.
6 points.
Yeah.
It felt like the defense, when they needed to make stops.
They did a good job down in the red area. We knew what they were. I thought our guys were really wired in. They did change it up and threw both quarterbacks at us. So we kind of, I thought Aaron did a nice job of understanding that moment and playing into it. But again, just another really good, resilient message from our guys. No matter what happens, you still have one next play, right? And then to come away with that missed field goal at the end, I thought that was a good momentum swing, and then to score right away coming out.
Where you thought you'd be better last year than it turned out, obviously. So you never know. How much, now that the regular season's over, how much anxiety did you feel, or pressure, or it is, just to deliver on what you thought could happen and what you.
Two different seasons. I would tell you last year I was uneasy in fall camp. I mean, obviously we had a lot of good players, but I just didn't know if we connected the way we did this year in fall camp. I think that's so much that I've learned now through my 16 years. You can have all the talent in the world, but if it doesn't gel the way you want it to and then put it together, it doesn't usually manifest. And unfortunately it didn't last year, but I knew even during the spring and the summer and the fall, the way these guys just kind of handle their business, not much fazed them. And then anytime you have a guy at the quarterback position that feels good and is very confident, I think that breeds into everybody, offensively, defensively. So, yeah, there's pressure every week. My job, man, I mean, it doesn't matter if we're playing Northwestern or the week when we were playing Penn State and Oregon, who were, ranked top 5 in the country. Like, the pressure's got to come from within. If I start responding to pressure that comes from anywhere else, I'll never go anywhere, right? Like, the only pressure you have is the ones that you create yourself. And for me, that motivates me to do certain things, but it doesn't really change what I do.
Right, obviously one more game left, but huge couple weeks for the
Yeah.
2025 roster and everything. Now you signing day portal.
Huge.
What is the key now to build off of this?
Yeah, I mean, this week will be a lot of, I'm sure, conversations, right? Like, I'm not naive. I've told our guys all along that we have 12 guaranteed opportunities together. We've talked a lot about the dash this year, and it's been a lot of fun with these guys. But the world that we know in college football, is going to bring, I'm sure, some conversations this week that, is going to change the outlook of our team. But on the flip side, we don't have many, I don't know if there's a kid that left our program a year ago that has gone anywhere and done anything, right? Like, and nothing against kids that have left, but like what we do here, I think, and now we have kids, we've actually had some guys reach out to us that would like to come back. It doesn't surprise me, but it's just another great indicator of, I think, what we do, how we do it. I say it all the time, but like Josh, in administration, they allow us to do things with our kids that I know they appreciate. We have guys here that have been at other programs, elite programs, who talk about when they come here, they learn things more in 3 months than they've learned in 3 years somewhere else, right? And that means a lot to me, and it does, I think, indicate what Illinois can become.
Just so rivalry game, where you won 3 out of 4.
Uh-huh.
In the past, you didn't always win this game. Has there been an emphasis to win this in-state rivalry?
Well, yeah, and first thing you have to do is respect them. I think when I got here, I don't think there was respect for Northwestern. They'd beat them 6 years in a row, and I saw quotes from players that weren't with us really anymore, but I'm like, man, you got to, before you can beat someone, you got to respect someone, right? And I had a tremendous amount of respect for Fitz and what he did in his program, and then obviously Coach Braun last year, what he did, it was just, I knew today was going to be, you look this game 2 weeks ago here, 3 weeks ago here in Wrigley against Ohio State. It was a 0-0 first quarter, and they scored first in the second. Now, obviously, kind of got away from them at the end, but this is a very opportunistic team. They're tough. Not a lot of things that we believe in, I think they believe in Northwestern. So, yeah, I respect Northwestern just like I would respect Purdue and the rivalries that we have.
Of course, Aiden Lockley is one of those local guys
Yeah.
that kind of made it focus of your team. How nice is it to see him have that kind of game?
It's good. It's fun to see the Illinois kids have success. I said it in my opening presser. It wasn't just trying to, win the press conference. I believe it. Great organizations are built from within, right? And I think that Illinois has to be built by Illinois players. And when you got a guy like Aiden Lawfrey, but you can't just ignore Hank Beatty, right down the street at Rochester. Hank Beatty has probably had just as much of our success here in November as anybody, and those little things mean a lot. I think Josh Kreutz and James Kreutz, they have two brothers starting on a team that went 9-3. Obviously, Owen Kreutz in Chicago means a lot to what it is, and they represent his name, represent our name very, very well. So there's just a lot of really good feel good things. I'm super excited to kind of take a deep breath, but I think this week is going to be absolute pandemonium and chaos because I think you're going to start to have some reactions. I know other kids are contacting us, so I know I'm not naive to the facts not going on in our building, but I'm excited to we'll probably work 2, maybe 3 days this week with our young kids, and that's probably one of the most enjoyable things for me as a coach is to get to work with these guys that maybe they felt we haven't really been paying attention to them, but now they'll get a lot of attention here this week. We won't find out what's going on until next Saturday, or next Sunday. But I'm telling you what, man, I mean it. I know everybody's going to poo-poo it, but, Bret's been doing an unbelievable job with these 9-3 teams and the history of what that could possibly be. And listen, I wish we could have gotten one more win, right? But, we lost to 2 really, really talented football teams in Penn State and Oregon that are, top 4 in the country, and lost to a Minnesota team that was a rivalry game. I think the heartbreaker of the whole thing was just, getting that close at the end and not getting in the end zone. But it's a good sign of where we are. I mean, to think that Illinois, from when I came here 4 years ago, is knocking on the door of a college football playoffs is pretty awesome.
Take a couple more here, and we got Luke. Take away
Luke.
something, like, it's not totally in your control, but just to get 3 picks, so fumble recovery, how did you see that?
Yeah, I thought our guys really were opportunistic. Mac Rossetich, another good, he's kind of northwest central Illinois, I guess he'd be. But Mac is just another great example. He attacked that ball. A couple of ours bounced off our hands. I know Matt had one in the first half, and then there was another one on a tip ball. But I thought our guys defensively attacked the football really, really good. And then I was literally right next to Torrey Cox. I saw him sit down. I knew we were bringing pressure, so Torrey knew it as well. He sat down on that route and expanded it. And, here's a guy that, came into our system, really kind of took him at the last minute, had a scholarship available. I really loved the story of his dad. I had a very good friend of mine, Paul Rhodes, coached his dad and at Pitt, and said, this kid's got the DNA from his father. He's going to be an exceptional kid. And I think the only thing better than one T-Cox is to have 2 T-Coxes. So there might be another one coming.
Some impactful plays from Malachi Hood. Is
Yeah.
he one of those guys that could be building for something for next year, like spring ball?
Malachi's very talented. He really just got kind of cleared right before we started fall camp, so we really didn't know what. And then Arch, who came in the spring, Archie never really been around him, but I think our strength coaches right away during the course of the summer, like Brett, Malachi Hood is probably your most explosive, dynamic, athletic linebacker, right? Just hadn't played a lot of snaps, so excited to see him and Cruci really, really continue to grow and develop. Ryan, we got one more game with Ryan, and then Dylan Rosiak come in the building every day. He's just got a grin from ear to ear. I know he's crushed that he can't be here, but he sees these guys playing, and he's happy for them.
I know we talked
Joey,
about
then I'll see if you
Pat this season, but how do you put what he's done in perspective? I mean, 10 touchdown ties, record some really good plays.
Yeah.
How do you kind of zoom out and look at that?
I keep looking at your Packer hat in Wrigley Field. That's like making me zoom out. It was really cool seeing up there in the locker room. Brandon Lloyd was here, flew all the way in. I thought that kind of speaks volumes of what Illinois is all about, right? Here's a guy I just met for the first time. Obviously, had seen him compete and play, but he contacted us earlier in the week and said he'd love to come and recognize Pat when he broke the record. He didn't say if, he said when he broke the record. So I gave Brandon the ball, and then he gave the ball to Pat in the locker room up there. It was a pretty cool moment for hopefully greatness to recognize greatness. Pat Bryant literally broke down the team afterwards with 9 wins and said, let's try to get to 10. So it kind of shows you where his mindset is. I think this is a team that really enjoys the success, being around each other, and I'm excited for what the future can be. Not just right now, but I'm telling you, fellas, we got a really young football team. We're one of the youngest teams in the Power 4. The core of our football team, when I make my 64 or my 74-man travel roster, it's all basically sophomores and juniors who will turn into juniors and seniors next year. And to me, as a head coach, that's very exciting.
We'll finish with Steve here. First of all, how does Florida sound on an 18-degree day? And,
Yeah.
And then, you missed that last Rose Bowl at Wisconsin. Got a chance to go for a 10th win. Maybe
Yeah.
it's a New Year's Day, our New Year's Eve game against a banner program from the SEC. Is this sort of the biggest moment maybe that you've had since last time you coached in the Rose Bowl as a head coach?
Yeah, well, for sure, absolutely. Yeah, this is big. I felt it all week. I knew when we were coming out of that second bye week, if we could put together 3 weeks and get to 9 wins, it'd be pretty awesome. Today was a little chilly. It's the first time I've worn socks, I think, since Russell Wilson's wedding, if I'm not mistaken. So it was like, I don't wear socks very often. I threw them on today. My little toes were numb walking in the building. So I think for our players, obviously we got to go to the ReliQuest a couple of years ago, but I think to know how close they were, I really kind of made that statement to them on Sunday to try and leave no doubt that you were right on the cusp of being a top 15 team, and unfortunately we didn't do enough to get to that point, maybe from the perspective of the outside world, but I know when people throw on our film, they will see how we play, and that to me speaks volumes. I've kind of had my moment. I appreciate the question, but I want Illinois to feel what Illinois should feel, right? This isn't a mistake. It didn't happen by chance. This happened through a lot of really hard work and a lot of really good dedication to not just people in the Smith Center, but people in the Department of Athletics, Chancellor Jones, all kinds of people that have made Illinois, and our fans too, man. I'm serious. We had a Michigan game this year for the first time since I've been here. We had a home field advantage, right? And that team that we beat pretty handedly just went and beat Ohio State. So to win in this conference, to be a team that we potentially be in the top 5 of a new 18-team league, to say that Illinois is there, I think is a pretty big-ass statement.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
We'll hold it right here. We'll bring Luke up here to the front. All right, you guys can start firing away for Luke.
Luke, after that interception in Big Six, what was your thought at that point? How did that pick it up from there?
Just keep moving forward, keep putting one foot in front of the other. I mean, it was obviously something that we had. It was a self-induced, play, a turnover that really shouldn't happen. They really credit them. They made a good play. I think one of their defensive linemen got a hand on the ball, and the ball was up in the air for a little bit. So those are always scary. And they made a play on the ball. They're a good Big Ten team. They have a really good defense, I think. One of the better ones we played all year. I think they do a lot of good job. They do a good job of mixing up looks and schemes. So credit those guys and just credit our offense just to keep putting one foot in front of the other because we knew we had a good plan. So
it was like seeing Aiden run away from you all day.
Yeah, like I was telling Donovan, like there's nothing cooler than watching a back break away and nobody's in the clear. So and nobody did more deserving than Aiden. Illinois kid, I know he'll remember this day for a long time, even if he didn't get one touch. But to see him, I think he got in the end zone 3 times, over 150 yards, something like that, man, nobody more happy. We're all so happy for him because he's worked so hard and he's been, so close to the end zone all year, got in last week, but, man, it's so cool to see him score it 3 times to really be an MVP for us, obviously. So.
You transferred here for an opportunity to be a starting quarterback on a winning team. Have things gone the way you envisioned them going since you came here?
Absolutely. Yeah, the first year a little rocky, man, but I wouldn't trade, that experience, those experiences last year for anything in this world. I believe it's, those tough times, those adversities, me sitting on the sideline for the last 3 created what you see today, not just from my viewpoint, but from everybody in that locker room. Our successes this year came from our failures last year. We didn't want to feel that way again, and we knew we had to, right the ship coming out this year. So, small town kid from Mississippi. Never thought I'd be playing at Wrigley Field and against Illinois with Illinois against Northwestern. So, just really so thankful, and all praise be to God for writing my steps, and I'm just so thankful.
You were probably in kindergarten or preschool last time they won 9 games here. Why was this team able to get to 9 wins?
I think a lot of people have talked about it. Just the unity, the brotherhood, the leadership, obviously starting with Coach B on down, just a group of guys who love each other, unlike anything I've ever been a part of. Every single person in that locker room, loves the guy next to him, and I haven't been a part of that. I'm sure there's a lot of programs where that's not the case. So, and like I said, that starts with Coach B and his leadership, his optimism, his plan for us, every single day. It's so consistent, so loyal, and I think just the unity really prevailed us to 9 wins. Obviously, we'd love to be at 10, 11, 12, but, man, just really, really thankful. And, that's really it. We're not the most talented team out there against a lot of teams we play, but that unity is, a lot stronger than the talent, I think. So.
You guys been talking? Are you excited to get down to Florida for a big bowl game and hang out with Mickey Mouse and Disney World? You guys excited?
Yeah, I think everybody's excited to go down to some warmer weather for sure. To enjoy some time in a really cool place. Hopefully, I don't know where we'll land. I don't really know how that will play out, but I've been here in Orlando, so just looking forward to it. But just really reflecting on the last 12 games. Just, man, so thankful for guys like Zakari who's just waving at me, man. Just it's so cool to see everybody's story play out. But looking forward to just going to do one more with my guys. So.
Just on the TD ball, just on form, it seemed like you waited almost forever for him to come break. Talk about that play and just how long you guys have it. Has that been successful all year? Has it been a difficult call?
It was really a busted play, to be honest with you. It wasn't designed to Pat at all. It was designed for Zakari to work on a wheel linebacker in the slot to break across his face. They showed a different look than we had practiced. We thought it'd be there, but I got outside to Pat. He wasn't really open either, and then Pat just made a instinctive play where he kind of turned and spun out the backside, and he got kind of lost and none of that would have happened without my protection up front. They gave me all day back there, so just a great player, great experience, instinctive player in Pat, and glad I could just put it in his area, and he did the rest. So.
One more after this one.
Where were you? Potential single season record, and it looked like one drive you went in a few times in the end zone. What would you like to see?
Who's that, Pat? Yeah, he didn't talk about it once, to be honest with you. And that just speaks to the character and the guy he is. A lot of guys would, be like, yeah, I need one more, I need, this, that, and the other. But, man, he just wanted to win. And like I said, that just speaks to the unity, the brotherhood, the love that we all have. We don't care about statistics, whatever it may be, man. We care about W's. So, and that's why we're in the position that we're in, because of guys like Pat Bryant, and you can just go down the list. So it was really cool.
Look, guys,
You
you
mentioned the line just on Aiden's third touchdown. JC blocked his guy, I think, 10 yards downfield, just kind of carried him. What did you see from that group to maybe open the lanes for Aiden?
Just confidence. You got to go watch the film back, but I think we just had a good plan, man. Coach Lenny and the crew, his assistants, man, just put a really good plan in place for us against their schemes, against their defense, and guys, our offensive line was inspired just to go win 9 games. So, like I told Don on the side, there's nothing cooler to see, Aiden or Josh or whoever it is break a long run, but also to see guys up front to have success. I know those guys are so excited, JC and all the Josh crew, all those guys, man. So just a physical Big Ten game in the cold weather, and they embraced it, so it was cool.
So your dream at some point was to play, big, high-profile SEC games as an SEC player. You're going to play a team like that probably at bowl time in a high-profile situation and all that. But for Illinois, how do you think it will compare?
I don't know. I know we got a good group, and whoever we line up against, I don't care if it's the Super Bowl champs or a 7-year-old football team. We're going to go compete. We're going to go, do what we can to go win. But like I said, I grew up in Mississippi where SEC football was king. It was greater than NFL football. And from at least my perspective, I went to a lot of games, a lot of environments down there, and they're obviously a really, really great conference. So for us to go out there, and play up a really high-profile SEC team will be really cool. But ain't nobody going to be afraid or nothing like that. We got a confident bunch, and I'm excited to lead that charge.
Thanks, Luke.
Appreciate y'all.
We'll keep going from here. We got Malachi Hood and Aiden Lawfrey, Matt Bailey, and PB as well. We'll have to pick up the pace a little bit. No, we'll keep doing it here. Malachi.
What's up, guys?
How'd that feel to make those big plays and game-changing plays for your team finally?
It was pretty surreal, but I mean, at the same time, like we work for moments like these every day. So, coach believed in me, had opportunity, preparation met opportunity, and equal success. So, I'm happy, but I'm not surprised.
What's the key in a good spy like you had to ultimately go chase him down?
A little bit of speed helps. Nah, I'm joking. I mean, we had coaches schemed up, some tricks and pressures to set that up so he rolls out. It was in the game plan, but it just worked out.
Malachi, it's been a long road for you.
Yeah,
We talked about
of course.
that. So did you have a moment out there where you kind of exhaled? I mean, with a sack and a forced fumble and 2 game-changing plays?
Honestly, no. I thought I would prior to it, but kind of in the flow of the game, in the heat of the moment, didn't really have much time to react. Kind of wish I did, but at the end, I'm happy with the result. So, yes, sir.
What's led you back? What has led you to this moment where you had a setback and you worked through it? Like, what led you here to making an impact?
Just all the support, our training staff, rehabbing with guys like Jordan, Aiden, guys that in the training room push me every day, strength coaches, never missed a beat. Even when I wasn't with the team or wasn't playing, it always felt like I was still, part of something. They just did a good job of, keeping me motivated and helping me out through that process. So I'd say just all the people around me, I have to say, are the,
Malachi, you're not far from home either. Is your family here today? Did you grow up a Cubs fan?
No, hardcore Sox fan. But I did have some family here. Obviously, Thanksgiving was this past Thursday, so a lot of family was in town. So it was great to have a performance like that in front of the people that I love the most. So.
Okay, when fall camp started in August, did you think you would get here and be able to make this kind of impact?
Honestly, no. Coach Archie McDaniel, he believed in me a lot. So this season has been kind of a blur. I kind of came in thinking I was just going to do special teams, and he really believed in me. Him and our graduate assistant Grant Morgan, they've really helped me out through this process, and they've gave me the confidence to know I can play, and I can play at a high level. So I just say those 2 people have really believed in me this season. Extremely grateful for it.
Quick follow-up is what was it like to just have a small role in the middle of story about, you piping up and going, I know exactly what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
In that package in the Michigan game, was that a big confidence builder for you?
Yeah. Coach B always says, when preparation meets opportunity, that equals success. So, Michigan game, we had a package in. We repped it so many times. I knew when it was called. I knew what I had to do. So it was a good moment. But like I said before, there's never really any surprises. Just the amount of time we put into, our game plan and practicing these reps. So, yes, sir.
When you talk about this,
We'll finish with this one here. Move on to Aiden.
when you talk about getting to 9 wins, Coach B and Luke are talking about, the what ifs, that kind of stuff. But when you think about getting here, what's the one thing you're most proud of this team to get to 9 wins? The one aspect of this team?
I just say how fast we came together. We had a lot of transfers. Freshmen came in. Beginning of the summer, I'd say is really when we started gelling, and that's when I kind of looked around and said, we have something special here. I mean, we had team bonding events, going to bowling alleys, guys hanging out with me that I've never even talked to before. Like, everybody's a friendly face. So I just say the togetherness of this team just really brings us together, and I'm extremely grateful for it.
Thank you, Malachi.
Sure.
Aiden Lawfrey.
How we doing?
How old were you when Illinois played there in 10? Were you paying attention?
I don't know. I don't know.
You heard about it?
3 years ago?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Have you heard about Nicole? Sure. I mean, you kind of did it.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah, my bad.
When you come in there and do that kind of game, get in this place, what's it feel like?
Yeah. I'm just thankful for, the guys on this team for believing in me, the coaches. This group is really special. To come together and 9-win regular season. And culmination. In Wrigley. Coming out on top, getting the hat back against Northwestern. It's been a special season for many reasons, but just kind of wrapped it up perfectly.
So, Coach said we're going to play her next year. You fine with that?
What's that?
Coach said we're going to play her next year.
Oh yeah, I'm all in. Let's come back to Wrigley. Yeah, anytime we can.
Aiden, you're really close all year to breaking off the big runs. Finally, you did in this game. What all kind of came together today that allowed you to have those three big runs?
Yeah, kind of what Malachi was saying. Preparation. We prepare so hard. In our room, we're pushed so hard. Our coach pushes us, and he preps us for games like these. And so finally, opportunity. When it's there, you got to hit one, and came together today. So.
What's it like? Was that the game off that you had?
Yeah. Yep.
I'm just kind of wondering what that's like for you. We've talked so much about the first couple of years that was a stop and start.
Yeah.
What was it like to get that moment and
Yeah.
this game and seal 9 wins?
Yeah, kind of still taking it in, but it's just special. Like I said, like being a part of this team with these guys, it's just been a special season, and I'm happy that I could go out there today and help the team win.
What kind of push did you get from the offensive line maybe to create those opportunities for you?
Yeah, I mean, those guys were covering them up all day long. Those guys, it was awesome. Running behind the looks we were, getting. Like I said, just thankful for those guys. They work so hard, and to go out there and rush for whatever we did, 200+ yards, just awesome.
There's days where McCray has the big day, or you have a big day. This is a big running back room. What's it like having to, sometimes split carries, and get competitive? What gets you go out there?
Yeah, I would say like our room is so. We're just happy for each other. We all get along. It's like a little family in there, and that's something that Coach Ward has talked about. Is our group is unlike anything he's ever seen, in terms of we're not worried about that. I'm not worried about Josh getting a carry. I'm not worried about Khalil getting a carry. I'm not worried about Jordan getting a carry. We're all in this together. We're just trying to win games, and whatever gets that done. Whoever's playing the saxophone that day. Have at it, play that saxophone, you know what I mean? So
When you get into the hole, you obviously get good blocking. What's the key to making those defenders miss and break away?
it all goes back to preparation. That's something Coach Ward emphasizes all the time, in practice, especially on Thursday practices, which are a little more toned back. We're in spiders, we're not hitting, but, when you get into open field, you're working on your moves. You're making that come to life. And so it's preparation. It's doing it, the little things, the details, training in practice, and doing those things in practice so it comes to life in game.
And after everything that happened in your career, injury-wise, and coming into this ball game, did you have a sense that this would be a big year for you, or you would have moments just not knowing what your role would be, maybe on August 1st?
I just came into this year confident, and being a leader. I feel in my room, and that's really what it was for me. Was this year I want to be a leader. I want to be a dude that if they decide that I'm out there to play, like I'm gonna go out there and play. I'm gonna be that guy, and yeah.
What gave you that confidence?
Yeah, just practice. Making plays in practice. Being out there. Coaches believing in me. Training. Getting through those tough workouts with Coach Tank, and trying to lead through those. So those things give you confidence.
We'll finish with each other here.
You came here, obviously, it's two-parter, I guess. You came here for moments like this.
Yeah.
How long the wait must have felt to finally have this moment?
Yeah.
And then, did you feel over the last couple of weeks that this was like very close to being on the cusp of happening?
Yeah. It's what you prepare for. It's why you come to Illinois, to go 9-3, to be a part of the turnaround of this program, and it's just a culmination of so much hard work from me, from my teammates. The guys that I came in with, guys we brought in. Everybody. It's so special. And the other part of your question, to answer that. It all goes back to the preparation. You go out there with the confidence every time we take the field that we're going to execute, we're going to go score, and I think I know that's why we've had success, because on offense we have that mantra, and that's how we practice, that's how we play.
Thanks, Ed.
Thank you.
TV next, and Matt Bailey will finish after that. Appreciate it. TV.
What was it like to tie that touchdown record, Pat?
I mean, it was amazing, man, especially, in a rivalry game like this. Not only scoring a touchdown, but helping my team, get that hat back was a very, very special moment. I actually saw Brandon Lloyd on the sideline before the game, and so he came just to, watch me, get a record, a shot in. It was a very special moment, just, knowing that all the work I put in, over the last 4 years finally paid off.
What was it like that Brandon made it a point to come back to this, and how has that relationship kind of grown or evolved this year?
I mean, it was very important. He actually came and talked to us, I think, week 2 or 3, he came back and talked to us, gave us words of wisdom, what his career was like, not only here, but at the next level. But, we kind of communicated through Twitter a lot, and he just told me that he'd be here, on this Saturday to watch me get a record and shot. But it was a special moment, especially with a guy like that had a great career, not only here, but at the next level as well, just to him to recognize me, just a baller recognizing a baller.
You saw him before the game. I was thinking, I better get one now.
Oh, yeah. Once I saw him, I was warming up. I saw him over there. He was cold. He was jumping up and down. I'm like, all right, bet I'm gonna give him a show so he ain't too cold for too long.
Okay, you've been here since before Coach B signed. What is his leadership? Like, how has he led Illinois to where you're winning 9 games this year?
I mean, he's like I say all the time, he's a player's first coach, man. He does everything the right way, and he just gets guys to, just buy him to the system, buy him to that tough, smart, and dependable. Because he's had plenty of success at other places. So if you're a player not listening to him, you kind of crazy. But he's just a great coach, man. He teaches us the game very well. He actually makes the game very easy, just putting us, in tough situations in practice. We work 2-minute drills, we work in the game, we work everything you can think of. Coach B does a great job just putting us in those positions so that when the time comes, we don't flinch.
People can ask us, so I'll just ask you directly. Do you want to play in the bowl game? I mean, with all your NFL draft prep coming up?
I mean, it's another game. We work hard for another game. I know the guys are very excited to go out there. Back in Florida one more time. Might go to the beach, rub your feet in the sand. But it'd be a great opportunity to go out there with my guys one more time and have a ball.
Luke talked about broken play. What kind of goes through your mind, or what are you seeing on the field when he gets flushed, or the first guy's not open, and did it take you some time to build those instincts where you can run to the soft spot?
I mean, we kind of work, like I say, Coach B does a great job just putting us in positions, during the weeks of practice. So, we work scramble drills a lot. So we got a lot of keys to it. Certain guys go certain places just based off your route. So, I mean, that scramble drill is something we do 20, 30 times in practice. Skelly, because our look team does a great job just giving us great looks, and with that's our main thing. Just don't let the play die. Even while we in practice, we just work scramble drills. So that's kind of one of the easier scramble drills we've been through. But just him having his faith in me, just having a little extra time to find me down the field, especially.
You seem to answer the bowl question pretty easily, so I'm curious, was that a decision you thought, like, I don't know if I will, or did you kind of know?
I mean, I'm soaking this in right now. I'll probably know, in a couple weeks. But hey, I'm gonna just celebrate this win, come back on Monday, go over the film, fix things that need to be fixed, and we go from there.
You got the cannon back and the hat back in your senior season. Was that? How important was that?
I mean, very important, man. Just walking throughout that locker room. You walk by the trophy case. You got to use the restroom. Want to get your hair cut, and just walking by, and you don't really see much in there. It's kind of heart wrenching. So, just knowing it's my last season, getting both trophies back in the trophy case, it was very, very huge. I feel like the young guys will start to understand as they get a little bit older what it means to win these rivalry games. But I mean, just growing up, I've been a part of a lot of rivalry games, so I understand how things go. But just getting both of those trophies back in my senior year, being a leader and the captain of the team was very special.
What's your perspective on Aiden's big day?
Oh yeah. I mean, that's the same Aiden. We saw that same Aiden fall camp, spring ball, him just hitting those holes fast. I even told him before the game, like, no tip to him, bro. Like, they fearing you. It's cold out there. You can see it. Like, they not going to tackle you, especially Josh McCray. But just seeing him go out there, just knowing that. I made a couple blocks just to spring him free, knowing that if I strain just a little bit more, that he'll spring free and just, that's a fast bat. It's hard to get him down, especially in open space. But he did a great job. He had 3 touchdowns. That's special, especially coming from a guy from Illinois, just playing ball. Got your family here, a lot of people here supporting you. Came out, put on a show. I'm very proud of Aiden. He got a bright future ahead of him.
Why did the connection with Luke work so well this year? Obviously, after playing well.
I mean, his confidence, man, in our whole room, honestly, just no matter who in the game, he's just gonna deliver a great pass, and just his swagger, just walking by. You can kind of see he's a changed guy, man, from a year ago. Just his perspective on the game and being the leader of this team. You saw him get knocked down out there today. He came to the sideline and said, that ain't nothing. I'm gonna be back. So just his confidence and his swagger and his growth over the last couple of years have been special. We work very, very hard in the summer. Fall camp, spring ball, just to put together a season like this, a very special one. So I'm very proud of Luke.
Cold game. You spent a lot of time on the sideline today. What's the key to staying hot and being ready to go out there?
I'm a Florida boy, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I took a little pre-workout before the game. It had me warm for about a quarter, but once it wore off, man, you just get out there, you run around a little bit, you get your blood flowing, try to stay on that bench as long as possible, keep your guys close and tight. But, it's football, man. You can play football in any weather, man. You just got to go out there, and then you got to go out there and embrace it, man. If you love the game, it'll be easy.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate y'all.
Matt Bailey to finish us up.
What's up, guys?
Matt, four takeaways today for the defense. What led to that success? Because I know that's been a point of emphasis all season.
Yeah, I think guys flying to the ball, flying around, and taking advantage of the opportunities that they're given. I think we have a lot more film to watch on them, and just the scheme and the way that we put it all together, it helped. And I think we could have had a lot more, but we didn't. Like, we took advantage of enough opportunities to come away with the win.
Did T-Rod say anything to you after you recovered the fumble? Because he was working hard.
Yeah, I was like, obviously seeing the whole play and see him and TC in there. No, he didn't say anything to me after, but it's a funny moment for sure.
So did you snake that one a little bit?
Yeah, kind of, just a little bit. But obviously, like, we got to get the ball back. So,
Ben,
yeah.
you committed here before this program was winning a lot. How did this team get to 9 wins? How did this team elevate?
Yeah, I mean, I always say it, but just like a day at a time. It really doesn't. If you look too far forward, and you worry about what's ahead of you, like, you really can't take advantage of what you're in the moment. And so I think that the transition from, like, yes, we want to go there, but it starts with every day, every moment. And I think that Coach B does a good job of establishing that mentality throughout the whole program.
Matt, with what you went through earlier in your career here, how much of a weight off of your shoulders is it to get these 12 games in as a starter?
Yeah, I think it's huge. Obviously, like, I'm thankful to God for being able to be here and the opportunity and to keep me safe through all of it. And yeah, I'm just glad,
Man, what was the thought in the first half? They held the ball for 20 minutes, and you guys only gave up 6 points. Did you guys feel like you were hanging in there and good things were going to come, or did
Yeah.
You guys feel like you left some stuff on?
Yeah, I think we definitely left some stuff out there, and we didn't play the complete game that we wanted to play as a defense, I don't think, at least from my point of view. And the biggest thing about that is like not letting them in the end zone. I think like they can be on the field and all the way down, but if you hold them to the very end, like bend don't break type mentality, you can do good things. And I think that even though they did have the ball and they were driving down the field, the guys did a good job of not letting them in the end zone.
I asked you about James Kreutz last week, but Malachi Hood this week comes up with a few big plays.
Yeah.
What's he brought at that linebacker position?
Yeah, I mean, kind of similar situation as me, kind of like getting injured, and like I respect him because we were getting healthy at the same time, and so we'd run together sometimes earlier in the summer or spring of last year, and so we've connected a little bit there. But he's a dude. If you just like look at him, like with the shirt off, like he's yoked. So. I just respect the way that he plays, and he's one of those guys that just puts his head down and grinds. Not very talkative, but yeah, he's a great dude.
I'm curious what you learned about him when you guys were getting healthy together. Is there anything that you maybe didn't know that you learned during that process?
Yeah, so he actually hosted me when I came on my official visit here, and so that's where we first met. But as far as what I learned about him, I don't know if it's like a specific thing or like a fact, but I learned that he's humble. You know what I mean? Like people talk about him more than he talks about himself, always. Like from my point of view, and like when we were working together, like guys were always telling him like he looks fast, this and that. You know what I mean? Like he's strong, he's putting that work in, and so to see that, it just brings that respect. You know.
All signs point towards you guys getting a good SEC opponent in Florida. Do you feel like this is a team that can play with anybody in the country?
Yeah, I'm 100% confident in all of my guys and the coaching staff to compete with any team. But on top of that, like we got to take care of business. You know what I mean? We can't sit back and do what we want to do, or we got to play our best football.
What are these next couple of weeks like for you guys as players with the transfer portal, bowl prep, and what is this like from your guys' perspective?
This time?
Yeah, this time. Like,
yeah, so it's kind of like a long bye week. Like you get a deep breath, you get to rest your body, and all of that stuff. I think that there's a lot of transition, but I don't know if that's the focus. I don't think the see who's leaving and who's coming in is the focus. I think it's where we're at and where this program is at and where we want to go, and how do we get there with all of the change that's going on. So it is a lot. But it's nice. It's nice to take a step back from having to study an opponent every week and to see where we're at, see what we can improve on, recover our bodies, and all of those things.
Matt, in your mind, what has to flip in being a red zone defense and being a good one? You know, when you can keep them from at least 3 or even a field goal attempt.
Yeah, I think it's like mental and physical toughness. I think the flip has to be, well, your back's against the wall. Like you're in a corner. It can't get worse than where you're already at. Because they've driven down the field, and maybe you could have let up a couple plays before, but now you can't. And so, like, there's nothing to lose. You know what I mean? Like, they already have points unless we get a takeaway here, which is important, which changes the game ultimately. But making sure they don't get in the end zone is, I think it just comes down to toughness, because a lot of the times teams want to run the ball in. And so, yeah, being tough.
Thank you, Matt.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you guys.